What is up? Today is gonna be a contouring day for you because I think contouring's scary. You see these dark colors and we wonder what the heck we're supposed to do with these suckers. And so I don't want it to be overwhelming and scary. So contouring for you right now. I have a little bit of makeup on right now. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna show you this without any makeup on this cheek so that you can see exactly what I do. Today, I'm going to be demonstrating things with these two brushes. We have the detail brush and we have the we have the buff brush. That reminded me of the Halloween movie where he goes blah, blah, blah. What is that one? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, back in action. Okay, so these are the two brushes we're gonna use. This one is really good at getting under hair. So key things I want you to think about and pay attention to when you're seeing me use these brushes. One is the angles that I hold these brushes. That is key. The angles that you hold your brushes is where the magic happens. That's where you're gonna get more comfortable. We want comfort when it comes to brushes. So the angle that you hold them at is the magic. So we're gonna take these, I'm gonna wash off my face really quick and then just one side. So we'll just demonstrate on this side since my hair is one stays out of the way easier than the other. So we'll demonstrate on this side and I'm gonna take off that contour and we'll get to work. All right, we're gonna cover this area. We're gonna put contour on it and you're gonna see how this rolls on out. Because contour's hard, we wanna make it easier. So I'm gonna give you this brush right here, which is the detail brush. So we've got this softer end. Oh my gosh, can I please say that Seint's makeup brushes are out of this world? They are so good. The density, how long they are. Okay, sidetrack, but please note, they're amazing. Also, you can get this makeup in the US and Canada minus Quebec. I'm so sorry, hopefully one day we can. All of our people who are overseas in the military can get this makeup, but that's all I got for now. Back to. Okay, what I'm gonna do with my contour. So this makeup is amazing. Everything is in one palette, okay? And what we're gonna do though is we're gonna focus on how we're getting out this makeup. So you'll see a lot of people that really dig into makeup. They'll take their foundation and really sweep it out a lot. And less is more when it comes to this. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is over putting too much on. A lot of times you'll see people that will go in with their hand and they'll get a lot on their finger and then they'll come in here and apply it, but it's even more than that. It's like out of control. And then you're wondering, where do I go with this? I promise you, even though it might be fast to be putting everything on very quickly, I want you to notice how much stippling and moving I have to do now to get this to blend out. Starting to get really forward on my face. And it's just a lot. We're gonna take this off and I'm gonna show you something else. Now instead, I'm gonna do this. You're gonna see me take the blend brush, this is the buff brush. I'm going to get this on an angle, so I'm kind of turning it upside down. So I'm not going directly into my makeup like this. I'm turning it on the angle and bringing it like so. There's not gonna be very much product on my brush. Then I'm going to take this and I'm gonna focus it towards the back. So you're gonna see me come in here like so. Now I'm going directly under the cheekbone and then you're gonna see something else. Now we wanna have a little lift to our face. When I started, oh my gosh, when I started applying my makeup, I would just bring this in straight across here and I'd bring it all into here. I want you to see how this is out here. We're now gonna shift this to kind of create this triangle, okay? So when we create this triangle, it is now going to, and then we're gonna bring this all up in here. Triangle right there to the back, okay? And now we start blending. So I'm gonna stipple and smooth. So like a stipple and a smooth. And this focus is gonna be at the back. I get to be in control of my contour. When I just wipe it on my face with a ton of product, I don't get to be in control any longer. And that's what we want to avoid. So I'm creating dimension by that triangle, and I'm just finishing out that look. So now my cheek has this shape to it. Okay, and I can lift it up into go here along my forehead. Like so. Now, because that is in place, that the focus was on the back of my face instead of letting it ride through, I'm now able to take my brush with my blush, and I'll do a little bit of a darker blush so that you can see it. And now I'm gonna marry the blush to it. See how they're connecting? And the blush is riding on the cheekbone. And you can pull other brushes into here too. I really do like to use the blush and bronzer brush for this, to just have them, and it's a white brush too, but I don't have my white one over here. This is what the current brushes look like. This is what our older style look like. But you can have the two marry like so. Isn't that so pretty? Now they're just perfection. It's gorgeous. So now I've added in that dimension. It's not loaded up with my my contour, because we want to keep things in control. When we take our contour and we go in heavy and we come forward and we come wide, it starts to get out of control here. And we want to keep that control so we don't look gaunt or we don't look dirty or anything like that. Sometimes what you see happen is somebody will take it like onto their whole brush, and then they'll put it on their face like they see people do, like so, okay? And then they'll want to overblend, and then they start blending like this. And then it gets out of control, and we can clean that up. In fact, I'll show you how you can, but look what's happening is my face is starting to pull down, and it's starting to get way out of control. And then I have all this shadow up here, and we don't want any of that as well. See, it's just getting out of control. So I can take my brush and clean this up. See, we'll come in here and clean up these lines. But we want to make sure that we try hard to not go out of control in the first place and not go where we're gonna be more gaunt looking, dirty looking. So see how I've just cleaned that up? So there's always a way that you can just marry it all together. And that's why I love a cream foundation as well. With Seint, the makeup is just so chill. Like it just works together so well. And then once it kind of is set in place, it's set in place, then we carry on. So now I can come in with my blush and see, so it was out of control to start, and we just cleaned it right on up. And it looks beautiful again. But that's the goal with your contour, is we want to keep things super in tight and clean lines. Well, one, you're using less makeup. Your makeup's gonna last longer. It's taking less time to blend in your makeup, and you don't start it out with that scared feeling like, oh my gosh, this is gonna look like crap. You're in control of the situation when you're applying your makeup. That's what we want. That's the golden ticket right there. Okay, does that help? Let me know in the comments below if that helps. So I teach all the time. I do live tutorials on Facebook with Fit Mission Makeup with Jocelyn McClellan. I do tutorials and reels all the time on Instagram. And then I have these tutorials here. I have past contouring videos. I have makeup application videos for beginners. I have videos that you can view for eyeshadow help with how to build your palette. If you notice with Seint, I can take in and out any of the colors I want into this magnetized compact. And so sometimes people are like, well, how do I build it? I got you taken care of in a video I've already uploaded and is going, and I love it. It's actually one of my very favorite videos I've ever made. So there's options that you can do with Seint. But now what we're gonna do is, I went in and I was working with this brush here. So I'm gonna show you now with the detail brush, the difference between the two. So remember that when I went into my, my makeup with my brush, I brought this one is angled like so. I'm only getting the contour on the tip. And when I get that contour on the tip, I'm just taking a couple sweeps out. If your contour ever feels hard on top, just take a paper towel and wipe off that top layer with any of the makeup. If it feels harder, just wipe off that top layer. It might have just a little more wax on it than maybe some other colors. Or you can hit if it's in the wintertime, you can hit a blow dryer with it and just soften things out. Okay. So I'm gonna show you with the detail brush now. We went in with this one with just this angle and we're very soft and we created this triangle, and this is the buff brush. Now we're gonna go into the detail brush using our Seint makeup brushes, and we want to chisel out that cheek. So I'm gonna start fresh with a fresh cheek. I'll be right back. So I have my handy dandy detail brush. This one is a gem. Now, when you very first get your makeup brushes, no matter what company that you use, anytime you have a brand new brush and your face is not used to it, there's a couple things that you can do. One, you can wash it first to try and just get the stiffness to loosen up. Two, you can just go on a clean surface on your hand. You're not gonna push down hard, but I am wanting to kind of get it used to having a little bit of movement with what I'm doing. But as you get more familiar with your brushes, your application is gonna get better. The other thing you always want to remember, especially working with a cream foundation, is when your brushes are dirty, your makeup is gonna look like crap. So think of the crap and the bacteria, I'm serious, think of the nasty that is in your brushes that you're putting on your face. Not only is it nasty, but it's gonna make your makeup not look as good because too much cream is just getting set in there and it just is not good. So, I wash my brushes. I actually have a brush cleaning tutorial, but I wash my brushes every week with a spray that it dries quickly. And then once a month, I wash it with Dawn dish soap, and I do have a tutorial for that. Okay, so with this detail brush, I'm gonna come in here and you're gonna see me focus on just one side of the brush. I'm actually not coming in like this, and I'm not doing the whole thing. So I'm coming in here, just a couple sweeps, and really and truly, it is such a minimal amount of product. Okay, so then I'm gonna, again, we're focusing on the back. And sometimes maybe I do wanna come here, but I just always know that I'm never going outside of this area. I'm never starting here. I'm always starting on the outside of the eye, okay? So if you don't remember to start back here, it's okay. You just don't wanna ever start outside of that eye because by the time we blend, it will move forward a little bit and you're not gonna like it. Okay, so I'm under the cheekbone, right? Totally under the cheekbone. If I went a little too low, I could always come up a little bit higher if I want when I blend out, but just be aware of that. It's easy. If it looks too low or it feels like it's pulling down your face, we lift it up a little bit. Okay, from there, I'm gonna tweak it and turn it to create the triangle. And all I'm doing is this. Now, look at the way I'm holding my brush. Look at the angle of my hand. Okay, so this is just, and I can come in here and stipple. But I'm creating that triangle, which is gonna give me a little more depth. Now I'm creating like a C shape, J shape, a hook. Because what's happening now is it's blending out that back part. You see the triangle that I have formed. It's a thinner part right in here. And now it's gonna give me a shape. Like think of a skeleton. It's gonna give you that shape, right? Because we don't want flat cheeks. Now just like that, it's blended out. So I can continue to come in here and come all the way down and ride it and lift it. But using this detail brush is a different way than what it was with the buff brush, but it's still the same theory. Triangle in the back, hardly anything in the front, giving it a little bit of a lift, and it makes your application so much easier. Less blending, less makeup up front, and you don't have to be scared with using too much. Most people, they say, there's hardly any makeup showing up on my brush, or I can never see the color after I blend. It's probably because you might be blending too much. That can make a huge difference if you're blending it out too much. So less is more and keeping it in place. Now, when I apply my blush, I'm gonna come in Again, see how it kind of has a lift effect to it? It's not flat across my face. And we're following the same theory. We're kind of creating a lift and that imaginary triangle with our face. And I'm just doing little stipples. And because of that, I'm getting that softer look. Now I can come forward a little bit more, but I don't want to get too heavy in the apples of my cheek because it actually makes your face look flatter. And it loses that dimension. So we've created a lift, which is great because we're getting older and we're using less, and it flows. And there we go. All right, let's talk about the contours. There's one thing that I hear all the time. My face looks dirty. We're gonna address the dirtiness of what contour does. All right, I have 3 contour colors that we have here. Seint actually has more than 3, but I'm gonna demonstrate with these 3. So when people do their contours, they are scared that it's gonna pull dirty. So contours are naturally made to be a little more ashy. And we want them more ashy because the goal with a contour is to create a shadow. But because we all have different undertones to our faces, we're all gonna have different outcomes. So I'm showing you 3 different swatches of these colors so that you can see what they have. So right here we have a color that we have called ash, indigo, and Astoria. So ash is more of these, you can see these gray tones in it. Astoria has a little more of this greenish to it, and indigo actually has more of a redness undertone to it. Indigo is for those who have darker complexion or they just want the richness of a contour to be a darker color. Ash is great if you're somebody who has super pink, red skin. And Astoria is a lot like ash. It just does have a little bit of a difference to it where it does pull that green. So those that have a lot of reds too, it works great with. I actually love to wear Astoria ash depending on the time of the year. Right now, I'm actually wearing Astoria. I have a pinkish to my skin and it looks really pretty on and it doesn't make me feel dirty. But there's one aspect to that people forget about that might be the reason that you are feeling dirty. And we're gonna address that part right now. So when you are wearing your makeup, and I will never say that a contour is all contours are right for you, it's just that you're wearing it wrong. Because there are some that they just don't look the best. There's ones that work better and look better. So when you are putting on your contour and you just have a teeny tiny bit there and you feel like it looks dirty, that might be a problem. But when you blend it out a little bit more, it might tone it down a bit. Some people have bigger pores through here, and so you do have to be aware of that. But 80% of the time, I will get people who say that their contours make them feel dirty. It makes them look dirty. It's because the contour is very wide. And so when the contour is out of control and super wide, or it comes forward a lot more, you're going to see a difference in your contour. So when we remember those key tips and those key things about keeping it in the back, that was gonna help you a lot. Now, one last thing. Let's say that with brushes, you can never be consistent with where you're placing your contour. And I just got done saying, don't take your finger and put a lot of it on. That's not what I meant. What I meant was don't overdo it, okay? When you see people putting their contour on with your finger, that can work great. But there's a difference between what I showed you earlier and getting a little bit of contour and putting it on like this and then going in and blending. So less is continuously always more, and making it so that you're more in control of where you're placing that contour. And here I can even build up that triangle. That might help you feel better about contouring, and you might like that better. I can even go in with this end of the brush and finish blending this out and just do these little sweeps and stipples. And then go in and put my blush on. And it does look a little ashy on me. And it could be because I have 10 layers of it on. But when I go in and I add in the rest and I keep this minimal, because again, the goal is to make it look like a shadow. So now I'm gonna go in like I would on a normal day. I'm gonna put a little bit of my bronzer on top. So bronzer is actually gonna sit on the cheekbone just like blush. And then my blush is going to come on like so. And by the way, this blush, in case I forget, because what I had on my face earlier is not this color, this is called Venice. Okay, so then it just melts everything together and looks so good. Okay, let me know what you think of that. Does that help you out with your contouring tips? Does that help you out feel that you can go in with contour and be a little more confident? If contour still scares you, wear bronzer. Or maybe apply your whole face first and then go in and contour the tiniest bit. When I just held my brush like this, when you hold your brush like this, when you hold your brush like this, it's gonna be way harder. Always remember that that pencil motion is gonna help you out because your hand is looser and you're gonna work a lot better with it. Okay, I hope this tutorial worked. Let me know if there's something that's helped you when you're contouring your face. If you've noticed something that you can give a tip yourself, be that influencer. Help a sister out. What helped you when you contour your face? You can comment that below. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you know, again, I'm gonna pop up here where you can follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. You can subscribe to this channel. You can give it a thumbs up. You can get notified, ring the bell for when I do post a new video. You get to know about it. I love having you here. Make sure you go over to Instagram and say hi that you came from YouTube. I'll say hi back. Have a great day. Take care.